Hey guys, this is Jack of Potatoes. So this is part 2 of Food for Thought. This video continues on from the one that I put up on Tuesday. If you click the screen now, actually, there will be a link that takes you to the first video. But if you've already seen it, then just continue watching on and enjoy part 2. And I will see you all next time. But yeah, when I was in CU, my life started to change. I started to swear less. I would just become a different person, and even that guy I was just talking about, he even said to me one time that the change in me was just, so different. He couldn't really recognize me anymore. And it took me a while, but I started to see that change in me as well. I started to see me become a much happier person and just a much more confident person. And my friends, really, I've had a couple of sets of friends over my CU time. I've been in it so long, I think I'm like the longest running person there. I've had a couple of sets of friends, and in the first year, my friends, they really kept me on the right path. They were always there if I felt down, or if I had questions that I didn't know the answer to. And it was just so great to have that, have them there and helping me through it all. And then my second year friends, my current group of friends, they were the ones that were a bit more strict on me. They would shout at me if I swore. They would I enjoy the odd drink, and I made no bones about that in my last video. And they would take the drink and they would pour it down the sink. Now that didn't really make me want to stop drinking. That just made me want to drink more, but it was they didn't do it out of spite. They were just would always give me money for it, really. But yeah, that's really my friends that have made me who I am today, and just going through CU. But getting back onto the topic of God showing himself in my life. When I got into university, I was on a foundation degree, which meant that it was kind of like a harder A levels, really. Or I don't know what the American qualification would be, but I would have been about 18, 19 by that time, so you can work it out for yourself, really. And near the end of the year, you had to pick a subject or another course that you wanted to go on to in your first year uni. And I was looking through them all, and I got to computing with education, and I felt a feeling inside of me that I had never felt since it sounds like Star Wars now, since the time that I first become a Christian. It was that feeling that this is what I want you to do, this is where I want you to go. And I got to compute with education, and I was just like, okay, you want me to go do this? And it's that feeling. I have not felt that feeling since becoming a Christian. I just knew instantly that is where God wanted me to go, and I was just so dumbfounded by this. It's just like, you want me to become a teacher? Are you buck daft? Do you not know what I'm like? I am not a teacher person. I am hyper. I am immature. But I suppose this is what they want me to do, so I made no objections, and I signed up for the course, and I got in because I worked hard. After failing my A-levels, I made sure to get my head knuckled down and to work hard. And ever since that, doors have just been opening up for me. I got a work experience thing that was part of the course in teaching pupils how to program in a local high school, teaching them web development, teaching them programming, teaching them game programming, and I never felt, since that point, he didn't disappear, but he hid himself for a while. And it got to placement time. In university, some courses require you to go on to a year's work experience, which is known as placement. And during that time, I had got myself into it was pretty much an unpaid placement in a local high school. But my mum was like, you should go look at just one more placement. Just go look at one more placement. So I applied for one more placement, which was working with students with not disabilities but learning difficulties within the same university that I currently go to, and I applied for that just thinking, sure, I'll probably not get it anyway. But turns out that the one placement that I applied for, which is teaching, and yeah, pretty much God's plan for me, obviously, and I get it. The only placement that I apply for, and I end up getting it, and it's just so obvious that God wants me to become a teacher. Whether it's an IT teacher, whether it's I don't think He wants me to become like a preacher or anything, but He obviously wants me to go into education, and He obviously wants me to be able to pass on my own knowledge about Him and all that to pupils and help teach the next generation. I know I don't want to say atheists, but you know who you are really. For those who don't believe in God, you may think that all this is just purely coincidence, but if you experience God in your life and just see what He can do for you, it just becomes so apparent when He is there and when He is not there. I think the most difficult thing for people to believe about God is in our society at the minute, we are a people of seeing is believing, and living for today and being in control of our own lives. And I think for a lot of people it's difficult to relinquish that control and give it over to God, who is this entity that we don't know is there, which I found difficult at the same time. You know, when I first became a Christian, it was getting over that. There's a sketch online by the Skit guys, and it's this girl giving Jesus her stool, which is this stool is pretty much control over her. Whoever sits in the stool has control over her, so she ends up fighting with Jesus over the stool because she just can't relinquish that control. And I think that's what it is for a lot of people. But once you experience God and once you feel His presence there, you just know He's there, and you just know that He's there all the time. For a lot of people, they don't really know if He is there, and sometimes they cry out to Him and they wonder why He doesn't answer. But He is listening, and He is doing His best to help everybody, because God is love, really. But yeah, that's I just really felt compelled to talk about this tonight after listening to Kingdom Soldier. So thank you, Kingdom Soldier, for giving me this inspiration, really. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, really, just put them in the comment section below. But as I always say, just be sensible and reasonable about what you put in there, and just do it in a respectful manner, really, and I will answer you all in a respectful manner as well, because that's really what God has put into my life, just being able to be respectful of everybody and anybody, regardless of what they believe religion-wise, or who whether they're atheists, whether they're another religion or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, thanks for listening, if you've got to this point. I know it's a really long video. And I haven't even added any video to this. I normally do the video and then just put some audio over the top of it. So I'll just have to find some clips and add them all into this. But yeah, thanks for listening. As always, guys, my name's Jack and Potato. I am a Christian, and I will see you all next time.